For those of you who have attended a PMT retirement party before, you know we've always tried to come up with unique ways to send our retiree off and to honor him properly. Sometimes things will go off without a hitch. Other times things don't go too well. For those who are here, some of you remember the Morty Mouse problem that we had. It was terrible. Still shakes me up here. We ran into a few snags here too. We want to document Roy's final days in the fire service, but we wanted to do it in a special way. Our intention was to seek out a prominent author with the hopes that they could write something that would be truly memorable. We sent information out on Roy to the likes of Clancy, Angelou, King, and we received nothing. Second-tier authors were contacted. Still no word. Well, but wait. Something came in last week. Something came in. One author did respond. So, in reading the soon-to-be-a classic, Roy Mickelson, retired fireman, give you Paul Wallace. Roy Mickelson, retired fireman.
Small went to Chief Norman. Told him quite true. I finished my time here. My time here is through. I want back on an engine. I hope that I can. It's time that you find a new public ed man. So to all the lieutenants, Chief Norman did go. Who would like a new job is what I want to know. And each lieutenant stated, right down to a man, we don't want any part of that public ed scam. But then Roy thought, as he ought to have thought, that he'd take the job. He thought that he ought. My knees, they creak. My back, it aches. I can do public ed. I've got what it takes. Roy scheduled the talk. Roy ran the whole schmoo. Roy went out to lunch. Roy golfed a bit too. Roy answered the phone till it bent both his ears. On and on and on it went. For about, a year. And then came the day when Roy walked upstairs to the great Sonia's desk. Roy took all his cares. Could I still eat? Could I still collect pay if I didn't work here one more single day? Sonia crunched numbers and told Roy that he could. Roy smiled and Roy smiled and sighed, that is good. I'll smoke lots of cigars. I'll drive a golf cart. I'll drink lots of beers. So close to his vest, Roy decided to play. Until, just once, Jim Conner would say, I think that someday, when, I don't know. I think that someday I'll just get up and go. Con's eyes lit up. But the bugles he wanted to wear. Jim sneered and said, Roy, if I were you, I'd leave today, Roy. That's what I'd do. Roy let Jim take Jim Chase's mind, and Roy laughed to himself as he left it all. So now old Smo finds himself back on a crew. Jim Conn sells blue shirts, just what to do. Rick Merrick's at the hall. Steve Glum pays his dues. And it now takes two guys to fill up Roy's shoes. Now we all hope Roy enjoys every day and thinking of us working as he spends his at play. Tonight we raise a glass and toast because we can. Good luck, Roy Mickelson, retired fireman. That's as funny as we get. Okay, before we get started making fun, honoring Roy, I want to thank a few people who helped organize this party. There's Karen Harold, who couldn't be here tonight. She was in charge of sending out the invitations and collecting the money from all you loafing firemen out there. I'm sure if Karen was here, she'd be kicking your ass all over the place. Steve Blum worked on invitations and secured the hall along with Mike Murphy. And there was the rest of the retirement committee: Eric Moyer, Steve Pitts, Keith Franchmore, Fred Hegler, and Kevin Piasecki. Thank you very much for getting this together. And I would also like to thank the comedic genius of Scott Ulrich, who doubles as Dr. Zeus tonight. He's the king of cut and paste. Scott's responsible for all the graphics you're going to see up here tonight. And he was also served as a scapegoat for any jokes you don't find funny. Keep that in mind, James. Okay, when I first heard Roy was retiring, my first thought that came to my head was, God must be doing backflips right now. And the second thought was, what are we going to do with his retirement party? What kind of material are we going to come up with? As you know, Roy is not the most dynamic person. I sent out emails asking for stories, but most of the stories I got back I couldn't use tonight. The one characteristic that always came up, though, was Roy's sense of humor. A lot of people mention that. His dry humor and deadpan delivery are second to none. I'm sure that everyone who's worked with him has experienced it at one time or another. Just to give you an example, after being unable to communicate with a Spanish-speaking patient, our own Scott Ulrich asked if anyone knew Spanish. Roy said he knew Spanish and asked Scott what he wanted to tell the patient. Scott said he wanted the patient to sit on the cot, so Roy turns to the patient, thinks a little bit, and then says, "El Cido on El Cabo." Roy didn't rattle easy either. Whether it was golfing or work or any hundreds of other situations where you think somebody could get him, he always faced adversity the same way. He'd pause, he'd reflect, he'd go, huh. Another trait of Roy's brought up a lot was his investment strategy. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Roy now describes it as buy high, sell low. Yeah, that did work great. I saw a few of his 457 investment forms. You would have been better off with a 357. In fact, tonight, the Palatine Fire Department, in conjunction with the federal government, has developed a special coin that is available for purchase tonight to honor Roy's service to the community and his financial status. The coin is made out of solid silver and costs $5. However, by the time you leave the party, it'll be worth 17 cents. It turns out another thing that Roy did on the job was he served as mentors to younger members of the department. In fact, one of the people that he mentored is Eric Moyer, who's here tonight. I had to think someone heard something wrong in that meeting. I think when someone asked who's going to mentor Moyer, I think someone heard Mickelson, but I think what was said was Ritalin. Armed with all this information, and with perhaps the most famous Roy story ever, we were able to put this show together for you tonight. So please relax and enjoy the show, and please remember, it's all in fun. No.
Feet together, please.
How's that? Better? I'll move it closer.
Tell George we're going to follow Shipley so much.
Okay, for the presentation of Roy's helmet, I'd like to introduce our first speaker for the evening, Fire Chief Norman Malcolm. Before we get to the
presentation of any awards, I did have a couple of Roy stories that I could. We go way back, Roy and I. We started within 6 months of each other on the job. And we actually went to paramedic school together with Jim and Randy and Zeke. And actually, Roy was instrumental in bringing us together as a group with some team building. And, we all had to put together some plan of how we were going to get Roy through this program. And we did. Roy, truthfully, we've really been miserable since you left. Just as if you were here. One story about Roy, we used to have, and for some of you younger guys, you have to imagine this, that we were the dispatchers as well as the responders. And we had our own radio room down where the deputy chief's offices are now at the Colfax Fire Station. And one of the really fun things was to be able to listen to the calls that were answered. The phone could be answered in the bunk room or downstairs, and we would hear the stories or the requests for help over the loudspeaker. One evening, Roy was answering the phone, and he had his own style. And we had a husband frantic that his wife was about to deliver. And what we heard was famous lines in the history of Palatine. Roy's comment of, "You're having a baby!" Well, Roy and the father of this new child had a different idea of what the emergency was. Roy was very pleased that this was happening, and we were all rolling. We were laughing at him talking about it. But we did handle the call and did transport the woman to the hospital. We didn't deliver it home. There was another event that happened back in 1976. We had a dinner with our volunteers at the old Slade Street Fire Station. And as luck would have it, we were all enjoying ourselves like we are tonight. And a fire call came in. So we all, in our finest, we all hopped in our fire rigs outside and we took off. And the fire was on King Henry. And it was a good one. We had fire started in the garage. The garage door was open to the house. Got into the laundry, kitchen, family room. It was quite a working fire. But later on, after the fire had been pretty well knocked, and got to see Roy. Roy, at the time we had bright yellow turnout gear, and saw Roy standing there in his bright yellow gear. I never said anything about the Big Bird thing, but anyway, Roy was soaked from head to toe. So, we naturally presumed that, he'd really been in the thick of the action. So, we asked Roy, "Hey, you run the hose line?" I said, "No, I found the swimming pool in the backyard." Roy, but Roy has certainly proved the theory that, as Paul alluded to earlier, if you want to get somebody on their way, put them on days, and that's what happened, and we were really sorry to lose you, Roy. We have, I believe that I'm going to hand out the plaque, and Fred and Bob are going to hand out the helmet, and I'd like to call Roy up here. On behalf of the Palatine Fire Department, I'd like to thank Roy for his 26 years of service to the people of Palatine. His fine work, his dedication, his his understanding of what public service is all about, and most of all for his friendship for all those years. He's someone who really will be missed, certainly by me. But I'd like to give him this plaque, and this plaque has his bugles and a couple of his badges, and it says, in recognition of his 26 years of dedicated service to the Palatine Fire Department, April 12, 1976 to April 12, 2002. Here it is, 10 appointments.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, as Chief said, Roy served on the department for 26 years. One job for 26 years. 26 years, Roy held one job, but 2 marriages. So, this got me to thinking, and this leads us to tonight's top 10 list. Which is the top 10 reasons being a fireman is better than being married. Okay, number 10. No one yells if you stay out too late. Number 9, you never have to sleep on the couch. Number 8, forgotten anniversaries are no big deal. Number 7, no one asked you to have a vasectomy. Number 6, the person in the passenger seat gives you good direction. After 20 years, you get the money. Number 4, the only time the football game gets interrupted is when someone is dying. Number 3, it only costs you $10 a day. Number 2, lots of brothers and no mother. And the number 1 reason being a fireman is better than being married, you stand a much better chance at ever becoming the boss. Okay. Our next speakers need no introduction. Here to present Roy with his helmet is Deputy Chief Bob Palermo and Deputy Chief Fred Hager.
Let Bob speak first.
That's better.
For those of you who don't know us as Fred and Bob, it's Bob, I'm Fred. If you were at Tim Hellier's retirement party, you might remember us as Ticker and Winnie the Pooh. I don't know, I'm kind of hard of hearing, but one thing I heard loud clearer was that we're supposed to keep this short. So we're going to do that. I am the only one doing any talking. It is our pleasure and honor to present another item. I kind of noticed something after doing this for a number of retirement parties now. Notice how we always give guys back something that was theirs anyway? Badges. Okay, we're doing the helmet, and this is kind of a little bit newer tradition. We actually cleaned it up a little bit, although it didn't take much. And then we all signed it so that Roy can have a little remembrance of all of us he left behind. Roy, why don't you come on up so we can present this to you? It's truly a pleasure and an honor to do so. We wish you the very best.
It's not good. You're gonna have to kneel. Roy, kneel down. Roy, look this way. Put the head on the helmet. Put the helmet on the head. I'm sorry, President.
Comedy stylings are pretty ugly, ladies and gentlemen. This picture was taken at the Public Ed Conference. Roy was set up by Bob Morris. Bob told the clown there to look for a tall guy with glasses to walk in. She could dress him up as a smoke detector for her talk. You know, when I saw this picture the first time, it got me to thinking, you know, gee, I wonder what a Roy Nicholson smoke detector would sound like.
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Okay, there's a saying by one of the members of our department that good at games, good at life. Some people consider life a game, and there's even a board game called the game of life. What if this were true? What if life was actually a game? It is in this spirit that for Roy's retirement, the Palatine Fire Department Retirement Committee has developed Roy starts with a wad of cash and a cigar. And acting as Roy must successfully navigate through life using all the keen intellect and investment savvy they can muster. Each player must pick a game piece that is symbolic of Roy. You can choose from a lightning bolt, an empty beer can, a bowling pin, a pair of crutches, or the worthless piece of stock. Now you are ready to play. You're ready to live as Roy, which has its ups. And its downs. And down. And down. Lots and lots of downs. Kitty. When I was talking with Roy getting background information, he informed me that when he was a medic in the Army, he used to have to go into tank battle drills in the ambulance. All the time he was in the ambulance during these drills, the tanks would still be firing, and I guess the noise in the ambulance could just be annoying and deafening. Which prepared him for ambulance time with our next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Cleaver.
And lower the microphone.
Did use the same setting as Chief Heckler, apparently.
Speak up.
Well, this will be a pretty hard act to follow, but I'll give it a try here. I don't exactly remember when I met Roy, but I remember when we first started working together. It was 1984 at Station 17, which then was called Station 2. There were only 3 men there at the time. There was myself and Roy and Lieutenant John Forsberg. There were a few bumps in the road at first in our relationship. I think Roy thought that I had a little too much to say for a new guy. Yeah, right. I thought Roy had a medical problem that prohibited him from moving anywhere quickly. Hey, they don't call him lightning for nothing. They call him lightning for everything. Anyway, time and experience resulted in a relationship of fairly mutual respect. I learned a lot of things associating with Roy. I learned how to drive an engine. We were blessed with the newest addition to the Palatine fleet, the Sutler. What a remarkable piece of apparatus. But one of a kind. Still is. I learned 48 Hours is a funny movie. John and I, we drove Roy nuts watching that every time it came on the tube. We call it now every time it's on. We knew every line. I learned how to run night maneuvers. You don't want to know. I heard Roy wasn't always good jumping out of an airplane. Are you enjoying the free fishing license you still get from that? Roy showed me you could drive an ambulance at night with the headlights off. If you wanted to see something really scary. I learned Roy wasn't adept at investing. Mom, as Secretary of the Pension Fund, I'm pleased to announce that Roy's retirement won't be funded entirely on the returns of silver and mustard. He shouldn't have to move his. Roy taught me how to speak Spanish. Actually, Roy taught a lot of us how to speak Spanish. Basically, I learned Roy had a great sense of humor. We parted company for a while after that, but we found ourselves together again at Station 17 under the supervision of Lieutenant Siffrey. This is when I realized that not only did Roy possess quick wit and a dry sense of humor, but a vivid imagination as well. It creates, as Fire Marshal Bill would say, a deadly combination. One time I was watching a Chicago Bulls game at 17 in the training office when the cable went out. Disgusted, I got up and I went over to the TV, and as I approached, the cable came back on. Feeling relieved, I returned to my seat. I wasn't there more than a few minutes, and again the cable went out. Really irritated now. I went over to the TV again, because the cable wasn't real reliable at that time, only to have it mysteriously come back on again. Feeling really peeved now that I might miss the game because, like I said, the cable service wasn't reliable. I returned once again to my chair. And again, within minutes, the cable is interrupted again. Except that this time, I realized that the TV in the day room is playing just fine. So realizing that two of the biggest practical jokers on the department are in the other room, I slipped off my boots and I tiptoed down the hallway. There was Roy, bent over, not a pretty sight, behind the TV console, trying desperately to restore the cable to the training office. When I got his attention with, Roy, what are you doing? He stands straight up and without missing a beat says, oh, are you having trouble with yours too? You always had to look over your shoulder when Roy was around. There was also a time when I was able to observe Roy's dark side. Now, I wouldn't say Lieutenant Slippery was the cause, but maybe it just made the environment favorable. Steve Lang learned about Roy's dark side and his imagination one day. Steve was driving us crazy, showing us this automotive wax that he was going to use that night to wax a truck that he had just recently purchased.
No buttercup.
He was infatuated with this banana smell that it had. He was having us, smell this. Well, Roy realized that a new tub of wax looked exactly like a fresh tub of margarine. Oh, yes, he did. That night, Steve started to wax his truck. I think he even commented on how well it was going on. like butter. And of course, the truck was new, so he was being very diligent, getting every little spot on the hood and the front fender before taking a break to let it dry, and then attempting to buff it off. Well, it didn't come off real well, at least not by buffing. I learned Roy was a brave man that night. Steve is a very large man with a fondness for karate and knives. As I recall, we helped him all. We all helped him clean the truck and everything. But Steve was mad at Roy for quite a while.
Page 2.
We had our fun, but we shared our other experiences too. There were times for serious conversation. Roy talked about his mom and his dad, whom I know he cares for very deeply. He'd share his concerns about his sons as they were growing up, Eric and Brian, who I'm happy to see are both here. And he's very proud of both of you. I'm grateful to him for his friendship. He was there to husband sit for me when I had my broken leg. And you've always been there to help me out. There are numerous chapters containing many stories of the life and career of Lieutenant Roy Mickelson. Tonight we recognize the conclusion of one such chapter and celebrate the beginning of another. We have shared a lot together, Roy, and it is my sincere desire that that continue. I'm proud to call you my friend, and I'm grateful for your friendship. I salute your 26 years of service to the Palatine Fire Department and the community. Congratulate you on your retirement, and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, whichever they may be.
Why do we need a cookie store? Hey, Wally, you got a cookie store up there? Roy's chili?
press pound? No.
Please sit on the cot.
Thank you. For Spanish, press 1.
That's you and me.
El Cido on El Cado.
Fish and stew.
For German, press 2. Big seat on the cotton. For Bill Nolan, press 3. Hey, come on, will you sit on the cat, huh? For Ed Kemper, press 4. Sit on the right. For Fred Kleber, press 5. Okay, now, you need to sit on the cot so I can examine you. If I can't examine you, I don't know what's wrong. But if you need to sit on the cot, if I sit here, you prevent me from doing my job. I'm doing a thorough check of my body.
I just want to add a story here tonight before I introduce the next speaker. I didn't have this written down, but one of my Roy stories that I experienced is we had to go to a place to pick up one of the engines one time when we were in the bureau together. I drove him out there in the bureau car. He was driving the engine back, and I'm driving the bureau car, and I'm behind him, and we're coming up on 290, and all of a sudden I notice Roy getting into the lane to get on the eastbound 290, and I'm flashing my lights and I'm honking my horn, and off he goes towards Chicago. So I hop on the right way, and I go back to the station, and I wait for him to open the door. And, I'm waiting to hear his explanation about it. Probably blame me. And backs into the station, steps out. Before I can say a word, he looks at me and says, "Well, you failed the loyalty test." Tonight, I would like to introduce Roy's son, Brian Nicholson.
Probably missed don't worry about it.
Originally, I was going to come up here and bust your balls, too. But I just don't think I can do as well a job. So earlier tonight, I was walking around asking every familiar face I saw to give me a story to highlight some of your finer points in your career in the fire service. And pretty much every one of them has already been hit on. So I had to think and think and think. What stories do I know that one story all by itself would just say what a great guy, what an excellent professional fireman he was. And it's absolutely got to be the time when he set his own house on fire. Not many of you may know this, but yes, he did set his own house on fire. Did you? The chimney was going, and every piece of fire apparatus in Hoffman Estates showed up.
Go ahead.
To wrap it up,
Dad, from Erica and I, we're proud of you. Job well done. We love you.
I really would like to help you.
Okay, originally scheduled to be the MC this evening was Steve Ford, but he couldn't be here today. He's in Florida. But he's one of the guys who told me the story, the Roy story. I wasn't really a part of it. I don't think I was around when it happened. It's about the story of Roy's vasectomy. And it was happening when I was very new, like I said, so, you know, I think I can remember the details that Steve told me. It seems that Roy went to have a vasectomy, and the doctor told him to take it easy no matter what. No matter how good you feel, do not do anything for 2 days. So Roy wakes up in the morning and cuts the grass. He was feeling pretty good. And, you know, Steve and I were laughing and joking about it, and I think he caught a call, and he gave me something, and he put it in the bag, and hang on. It's in here somewhere. Hang on. Maybe Steve forgot, but if we get the information, we'll get it to you. Now, when I first heard I was going to be the MC this evening, I'm like, maybe this is the first of many. So I went around, I jotted down like nice things about a bunch of people here so I could use it for future parties. So I got Roy's. I just gotta go. Okay. Oh, so we're cat talent. Yeah. Malcolm. I had it right here. Okay, time to get serious. Roy was born in Chicago in 1950, graduated from Lane Tech High School in 1968, the oldest of three brothers. From 1970, sorry, how many? Sorry. From 1970 to 1973, he served in the Army as a medic and paratrooper in the 8th Infantry and spent time in Germany. Upon returning home, he worked on and received his associate's degree from Wright Junior College in 1974. His career with the Palatine Fire Department started in 1976. During his time with the department, he served as an engineer on the dive team and the hazardous materials team. He worked in Fire Prevention Bureau for 9 years. During this time, he was promoted to lieutenant and finished his career in charge of public education. There's a Japanese proverb that says, when the character of a man is not clear to you, look at his friends. Roy spent 3 years serving his country in the Army. Not only did he serve his country, but as a medic, he served the other soldiers as well. The character of a man. For more than 25 years, Roy served the residents of Palatine. He saw the worst this job has to offer and was at his best at those times. He served them as a paramedic who treated their injuries, as a firefighter who put out their fires, and as public ed coordinator who taught their children about fire safety. The characters of a man. For the past 32 years, Roy's life has been about serving others. We are here tonight to honor that service, to say thank you for putting others' needs ahead of your own. I talked earlier of receiving many stories about Roy. The one common thread when talking to everyone was how much they liked Roy. So we are also here to say thank you for your friendship. It was a pleasure to have worked with you, and we wish you nothing but the best of times during your retirement. When the character of a man is not clear to you, look at his friends. I brought this up because if our character is ever not clear to someone, you cannot do better than having a friend, of Roy. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Roy Nicholson.
Okay, how's that? Better? Chief Malcolm, Mayor Mullins, firefighters, family, and friends. When I joined the Palatine Fire Department 26 years ago, the department was relatively small, consisting of only 24 full-time members with 8 firefighters on duty each day, operating out of only one fire station. Back then, we were very dependent upon our volunteers, who for many years provided the emergency services to the village. I am honored to have had the opportunity to have known and worked side by side with many of them. I've seen the department grow to what it is today, 100 firefighters operating out of 5 fire stations. Being a firefighter is a dirty, dangerous job, but I chose to do it and never regretted making that choice. One of the main reasons, of course, was the job satisfaction. To restore a loved one to their family gives you the kind of satisfaction you won't receive anywhere else. To control a blazing fire makes you feel like you've done something worthwhile. To do it as part of a team is what makes firefighting so special. Firefighting is about teamwork, and you can't have that without friendship and support. I am proud to have been part of a team that has helped save both people and property. My years here, I have made many friends. I have shared times and dangers with them that only another firefighter can understand or appreciate. We laughed together, told each other stories, and listened to each other's troubles. I'm going to miss the fun that we had at the fire station. Tonight I am saying goodbye to people who know probably about as much about me as I know about myself. I am sad to be leaving them, although I will be honest and say I am also looking forward to my retirement. I am looking forward to a life without bells ringing and sirens blaring. In all of our time, in all of our lives, there is a time to move on. It's good to have new challenges, new objectives. It's good to get away from old timetables, old schedules. Retirement means that I can be free of the clock. Retirement is a time for change. And hopefully I will spend the rest of my life doing something equally interesting and equally exciting. Retirement is about freedom of choice,
and I certainly intend to make the most of that. That is not to say that I cannot wait to leave. I am, after all, leaving behind me one of the biggest parts of my life. From now on, though, it's time for the younger members to take on the responsibilities and for me to have some fun. A change, they say, is as good as a rest, so I intend on making many changes in my life. What form they will take, I haven't yet decided, although I am certainly looking forward to spend more time with my family. So tonight, I'm a little sad to be leaving a job that has meant so much to me. I am sad to be leaving people to whom I have grown so close. Tonight I am finishing one part of my life and beginning another. I would like to thank you for your kind gifts and the good wishes that accompanied them. I deeply appreciate both. More than that, though, I would like to thank you for being so much a part of my life for so long. Thank you.
One more presentation tonight, if we could get Mike Murphy to come up here.
If I can get all the members of the retirement committee up here tonight to put this together, I appreciate it this time. There's a few people that couldn't make it tonight, but all of us put our time and effort and energy into putting this act together. And Ulrich and Wally and Hal have always, every time we have it, it's just that much better. We're getting really, really good at this. To the point I think we should go on the road with this. The long and short of it, in the history that we put these retirement programs together, the fire department has always presented the retiree with a gift, a monetary gift, be it a travel voucher or a check of some type that he could take and spend what he deems necessary for himself. So in tradition, Roy, the Palatine Firefighters Fund presents you with a check for $500 to be used in any way you deem necessary. It's truly an honor to present this to you for your time and energy and effort that you have given the village and the rural also at the time that we served them. And it's truly an honor to present this to you.
Two words, golf lessons.
Hey, Roy, I'll give you another 500 for that.
Hot stuff, right?
No, golf lessons? Forget that.
Hey everybody, I just want to let you know that the bar is open again. It is a catch bar, and I would like you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.